Welcome back, fans, to Austin's American Flyer, where we run electric trains made by A.C. Gilbert and have a lot of fun and are constantly finding ways to repair them, it seems. So yesterday, this is the tender of a Hudson that developed a short back here that transferred all the way through the engine, and suddenly the engine was shorting, sparking like crazy. I didn't know what had happened. But if we look at this other tender, which is in the process of being restored for another Hudson I'm working on, there is a gasket here around the rivet. And that gasket not only goes below the top here, but it goes down through the body to protect and isolate the electrical contact that comes up through the trucks. So once that disintegrated and it started arcing, of course, things didn't work like they were supposed to. Challenge is, how do you find replacement parts? Fortunately, I live in a small town that has a fantastic local hardware store called Varns Hoover. And I'll put a link to their store down below. And there are phenomenal people there that you can walk in that store and say, for example, I have an antique train, and this is the rivet that I had to cut off, and I need to isolate this thing from surrounding metal as well as replace it with something. What would you suggest? And they lead you through boxes of this, that, and the other, and they come up with a creative game plan. So these are duplicate parts that I decided to get two while I was at it. It cost me very, very little money. But we have here a copper rivet. This is the top side. And to protect the side of this as it passed through the tender, they suggested this little cap, which I just thought was brilliant because I could not figure out how I was going to protect the size of that thing from the metal tender body. So here's the pieces left over from the other one that I cut down. And then below the head is this polypropylene rubber that I trimmed down to fit within the recessed area here. And true, I know it doesn't look exactly like the original, but it's in the tender shell. No one's going to see it, and it works really good, as we'll see in a little bit. And on top of that, I had the privilege of doing what one of the young store clerks that was helping me said, all the old guys do this, and that is buy a ball peen hammer. So I bought a ball peen hammer, and what the ball peen hammer does is it allows you to basically smash and deform the bottom side. Being copper, it's pretty soft, and it turns into a nice flat surface like that. And it holds everything together. So now that I've gotten the electrical insulation device replaced, let's put it on the track here and see what happens. All right, everything is working as it did before the short incident. Well, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and would love your comments if you have any. American Flyer trains are a great hobby, and would encourage anyone who has any interest in simple mechanical devices and fun to consider joining us in the world of model trains.